In this video I'm going to show you what happens when you try to import Excel spreadsheets into other software. A lot of other software has the ability to allow imports or cut and paste, but occasionally you find there are faults in the import and you're not sure why. So this is the process that you can go through to eliminate what the issue is, or identify it first of all and then eliminate it. Now what you'll see here is a QS report. Now this QS report, or quantity surveys report, came out of another bit of software and it's produced this Excel spreadsheet. So the first thing I went through was sanitizing the data ready to put it in the other software, because the other software has 3 columns and it's just looking for the item, the quantity and the cost. So you can see here I did a version 1, I had the original version 2, version 3, and I just kept reducing the information down into a more usable fashion. I did things like put in double zeros because it looks for a number. You can see here it needs double zeros. There's another video I've produced about sanitizing data for imports to software that you can watch if you like. And so I went through multiple versions, making it simpler and simpler. Now the reason I do multiple versions is I can go back easily and I can see what changes I've made at each stage, and it's easy for me to go, oh okay, I've not got it right here, I'm going to go back 3 stages, I know what to do now. So ultimately I ended up with this one here. And this is the data reduced down into the state I want, with the items, the QS and plan references, the accounting codes, the quantities down here, and then the costs. So the next part was trying to cut and paste that, put it in its own document as a CSV file to introduce it into the software. And I found on that import when I tried to do it, and I was importing it into Labour9. So I'll show you this here. So here's an import function. We have a help and a template here if I had to import it. Now I'd copied that template format to lay out the data, so I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And when I tried to bring the data in, like this, and I go import, I immediately got this error. Now this software normally says line 1, whatever error it is, or it identifies what the error is, but in this case it couldn't identify the error. So I needed to go through another process. So the process I used was elimination. The first thing I did was I halved, and then I halved again the amount of data that I was trying to import. So you can see here I halved it down to say 500 items from 996 and I tried to import this, it still failed. So then I halved it down again to 250 and so on, trying to identify what part of this data is the problem. And I got all the way down to, you can see here, attempt date of trying to import. And what I was finding is I was eliminating issues, but I still had a problem. Now on attempt 9, the issue was clear, and I'll tell you which row it is in. It's this one here, see this down here? Nothing obviously wrong with that, bit of data in there that's going to conflict and cause issues. Now to this point I needed to take on another step. There's something that's conflicting with the other software and I know it's within that, so I isolated that and I put that one row into this bit of software over here. It's called Note++, and when I did a search I found a hidden character. See here, F5, and there's that bar there. I knew it was in there. Now the reason I knew it was there because if you look at the line above, you can see it says side and there's an orange dot, and you can see here there's these spaces are clear. Before and after formwork there's no character, but there's something there. And once I found that, it's a case of taking all of the data and putting it into Note+, highlighting just that there, that one thing, putting it into the find next and find every one of those and replace them. Now it happened that there was about 20 in this whole document, 996 items, there were 20 of these hidden characters. But once I'd eliminated that, it was possible to import all that data into the software, and I overcame the problem of hidden characters and how to import software from one program into another. So it's a case of highlighting the offending characters, but you can't even see it in this case, it's invisible. And then you push in the find functions. And then what you do, find the offending character. As you can see here, it's not even observable, but I do have it. And then use the find next and it will take you, see, to that row there, and it gives you the highlight over here. So I know there's a character in there, I just can't see it. So I go backspace and space. And see that when I do the space, it puts the dot in, or the orange dot, showing me there's a space in that line at that point. Click over here, go find next, jumps to the next line, and I just keep eliminating those hidden characters like that. Go to find next until we're successful. In trying to find what the problem was in the data, there was one other issue I came across. One of the issues I found is that if you copy all the data, like see the cells here, you're going to bring through these quantity and the cost numbers through into here, and it's going to separate them by commas there. Now, I was hoping that when I brought the data back through into the Excel spreadsheet ready to put it back into Labour9, that those commas would actually put everything back into the correct columns. But what I discovered is it just puts them all in the same, you can see here, puts them into the one column here rather than putting them in the B and the C column. Once you know where the issue is, if it's not over here in these number columns, then just grab the text column here, the description one. So copy all that data in that one column, and then start in your notepad over here. So I'm just going to go to I think I've got one here, new, and I'm just going to paste that in there. So I've got no other rows in here, just that one row. And I know where the issue is. It's in that description where it says formwork. So if I look down here, you can see here 25 MPA, and right there, no space character. So what I do is I just highlight that there, right click, copy, and then I use the find function, and I paste that there. See, it shows nothing, and I go find next, and it finds that one there. So what I'm going to do now is just delete those and put a space in between each one where that is. I can see them easily now in that one row. Then go to find over here, click find next again. Here's the next one, and all up there was about 20 of these that I had to address. Pretty simple. So when you've dealt with all of those, you can then bring that row back in, and the text is ready to be imported into Labour9, or if you've got another bit of software, you'll be able to import it into that. Once I put everything through Notepad, then I wanted to import the data into a job in Labour9. What I found was there were still errors, but those errors weren't relating to the hidden characters, and the software could now identify it. So what you see here is the CSV file as instructed by Labour9, and I tried to import it through here, choose file and import. So I know the problem is in line 66. So if I go back to my document and I have line 66 here, there's a problem in here somewhere. So you've got two easy solutions. One is you copy that data and you paste that into Notepad++, and you look for the problem in here. The other solution you could try is just to add a row in, and down here retype out the item and then eliminate that line there, and that should help you to identify the offending rows and make sure they're ready for import. When you rinse and repeat the process, you may find another line with a similar error, so you just keep doing that. You'll probably only find a few lines to alter, but then the file will import a lot easier. If you want to know more, here are all the buttons and resources that you need. Just use these links to go places. Don't forget to share this video with friends who you think might need this video.